And if you're not doing this for at least 10% of your waking hours, you're making a huge mistake. I just got off the phone with a strategic partner that we work with, that we're going to be doing a lot more work with. He's got millions of followers across platforms, and he has huge social influence. And we're going to be continuing to do more with strategic partners because we can leverage our brand and other people's brands in order to grow quicker. So how does this apply to painting contractors?
Welcome to the Painter Growth Podcast, where we help you scale your painting company in record time. Join us as we explore sales, marketing, hiring, finances, leadership, and more, everything that you need to know to scale and grow your painting business. I hope you enjoy and subscribe.
Hey guys, this episode has been generously sponsored by Drip Jobs. If you're looking to save time, close more jobs, Drip Jobs is the CRM built specifically for painting contractors. You can manage your leads, automate your follow-up, build proposals, and send invoices all in one place. And with powerful tools like production rates and job costing, it will allow you to work smarter, not harder. So I really recommend trying Drip Jobs to see how it can help streamline your business. And we have a link for you in the description. Check out the special offer for this podcast now. What is up, everyone? Mike Hickman here, founder of paintergrowth.com, and you're listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. How are we doing today? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking. Anyway, today I really want to talk to you about something that's very important. I've talked about it before, but I'm going to give it a little bit of a different twist today. And what this thing that I'm going to talk to you about is definitely something that you've heard about, maybe something that you're doing, and something that you're definitely not putting enough importance onto. And the thing that will 10x your business this year is by doing strategic partners in the right way. Now, before you click off because you're like, oh, I already know strategic partners, just wait, hear me out on this one because I'm going to give you a different twist. Now, at Painter Growth, I'm going to give you some inside scoop here. So at Painter Growth, we do as much as we can with strategic partners. Now, what do we mean by a strategic partner? I mean someone that we can work with, we can leverage their audience, their clients, their expertise, and basically help us get to the next level sooner without having to do as much work. Now, what do you do traditionally in a painting business? You wait for one job at a time, one referral at a time, you door knock one job, you wait for one lead, and you do all of that, and you just keep on trucking. Right? Hopefully you get enough momentum where now you can hire like a marketer, and then you can pay them a little bit, and they can go do that for you, and that brings in a bit, and then you can hire a salesperson, they can go do one estimate at a time, and $4,000 job, $200 job, $8,000 job, $6,500 job. And it's very linear, meaning that you're going to slowly grow. And oftentimes when you're in this kind of pathway, you're not even growing, you're just maintaining. So you're just going perfectly sideways. I think there's a term in the stock market world where it's like the stock isn't going up, it's not trading up, it's not trading down, it's trading sideways. So is your business trading sideways? Meaning like month after month, year after year, are you about at the same revenue? And if you are, it's because you're probably doing the same thing, doing the same input. Maybe you expand a little bit in the summer, go back down a little bit in the winter, or maybe you expand up a ton in the summer and then go down a ton in the winter, right? Having these huge seasonal fluctuations. And these aren't good. But there's ways to smooth the curve. There's ways to increase significantly month over month, year over year. And that secret is strategic partners. And if you're not doing this for at least 10% of your waking hours, you're making a huge mistake. I just got off the phone with a strategic partner that we work with, that we're going to be doing a lot more work with. He's got millions of followers across platforms, and he has huge social influence. And we're going to be continuing to do more with strategic partners because we can leverage our brand and other people's brands in order to grow quicker. So how does this apply to painting contractors? Well, there's a few different types of strategic partners that can supply you with more work than you will ever be able to produce in your life, right? And you may have tried to do some outreach, but you can't just stop if you haven't had success yet. You need to be consistent and be relentless. Now, what are the types of strategic partners, you may be asking, that are the best for me, for my business? Okay. Now, there's a few different types of work. You get like residential repaint, residential new, commercial repaint, and commercial new. In my experience, the biggest jobs with the best margins are commercial repaints, right? Res re is good, really good cash flow. Commercial new can be good, really big job, but like low cash flow, hard to get paid, takes a long time. Commercial repaints, you can get residential like margins, but commercial like sizes. So $50,000, $100,000, $150,000 projects with 45%, 50% gross profit, right? That your guys can bang out and get done really, really quickly. So these types of commercial projects are happening all of the time, every single day, every single week, in every single city. But they're not coming to you because you aren't putting your hand up. You aren't showing the world or the decision makers, the people in charge, that you are the one to do these commercial repaints for them. You're not creating the trust, the brand experience, the visibility, the credibility, any of that. You're just hoping that the phone rings with these types of calls. After that, you need to start asking, where do these projects come from? Now, these projects can come from property managers, realtors, other types of contractors like roofers or siding companies. If you want like a full list of our recommended strategic partners to go after to increase the list, especially if you're in a smaller market, you want to go after property managers, realtors, builders, GCs, interior designers, and roofers, right? If you can go after all of those, you're going to be great. But if you were just to focus on two, I'd recommend property managers and realtors. So there's a multi-step process to gaining trust, credibility, and getting your first project from a property manager or realtor. For the rest of this, I'm just going to say property manager, but it can apply to realtors too. Slightly different buying cycle between property managers and realtors. Now, the first thing that you need is a brochure to show your expertise. So what we recommend is just like a single, like a 2-page bifold. So it's like a 11.5 by 15 folded in half, right? So it's like 2 pages, glossy, nice. And it's just basically written about why you're the perfect partner for property managers, right? Ideally, you talk to some property managers and you get a little bit of info on what makes them make decisions. You know, you have your insurance, your liability, your business licenses, your bonding, preferred scheduling, great pricing, details about your paint, your warranty, your guarantee, all of that, just worded in a way that resonates with property managers, as well as some before and afters, ideally of the types of projects that the property managers you're speaking to manage, right? So if it's a big apartment strata complex, I want to see a before and after of a similar project, right? Either your own or something you find online or something like that. Ideally your own. But they need to see that in order to resonate and understand that you guys are credible experts. So you need all of those components that I just mentioned on this brochure, on their property manager brochure, to build that credibility. The next thing you need is consistent, systematic outreach with the goal to set meetings. You're not going to jump in and get a bid, hey, try me out, over an email or a text message or a phone call. The goal is not to get a bid on this first outreach. The goal is to get a meeting, not a bid. So you go to Google. AI isn't really good enough to scrape the list yet, I have found. So just go to Google Maps, search property managers in my city, and just zoom around on the map. Start a spreadsheet, write down every property management company, all of the key personnel, so all the property managers and maintenance managers that you can find, their names, their phone numbers, their emails, and then what you want to start is your systematic outreach consistently. So earlier I said 10% of your time. So I said 10% of your waking hours, but even if you spent 10% of your working hours, so 4 hours per week, this would change your life in 3 months. I'm not even kidding. 2 2-hour blocks a week, right? Say Tuesday from 8 to 10, Thursday from 12 to 2 will change your life. Schedule it, and you have to do it. Now, what are you doing during this time? You're literally calling, emailing, texting, doing everything you can to try to get a hold of these property managers so you can get an in-person meeting. So you're calling, you're getting to receptionist. You got to get through the receptionist to the property manager. How do you do that? What type of script do you use? Don't overthink it. Hey, my name's Mike. I'm with Blueprint Painting. I just was wondering, do you guys ever use painters on any of your projects? Just really simple. Do you ever use painters on any of your projects? Right? It's either a yes or a no. If they use painters, great. You're not saying, hey, do you need any new painters right now? Because chances are they don't need any new painters right now. But you need to wait until they get into that moment of pain where they do need a new painter for them to make the switch. So you need to create as many introductions and get in many meetings as possible. So, hey, Mike with Blueprint Painting, I'm just wondering who handles the painting projects on your in your organization or on your sites. And they'll put you in charge of a property manager, the owner, or a maintenance manager, depending on the size of the firm. Say, hey, great. Now that you're talking to the decision maker, Mike with Blueprint Painting, we're a local painting company in Denver, looking to work closely with one or two property management companies this year. Just out of curiosity, do you ever use painters on any of your projects? Right? If they say yes, now we're going to go for the meeting right away. Again, we're not asking for bids. We're not there yet. That's like asking to, do you know what on the first date? We're not there yet. So what you need to do instead is just ask, oh, wait, great. That's awesome to hear. I'd love to introduce myself and see if it's a fit to work together. See if there's anything I can help you with. When are you available in your office where I can come by and drop off some material? Right? You might get hit with a, hey, just send me an email, or hey, just send me a text, or hey, can you email me a brochure? It's like, yes, I absolutely can, but would love to meet you in person. When's a good time to meet? Right? If they say no and they just want to send the brochure for right now, no problem. You can send the brochure. Call back in 2 days and ask for the meeting again. If you don't get a meeting then, call back 2 more days later. This is why you're doing it twice a week, because every single time you sit down, like if you sit down for 2 hours, you spend 1 hour creating the list and 1 hour calling, you're going to be able to make 50 dials, probably make 3 or 4 good connections, maybe set 1 meeting, right? If you set 2 meetings a week for an entire year, you have now set 100 plus meetings with high quality strategic partners. And you only need a couple of them to hit. You don't need all of them to hit. That's why this has to be a numbers game. So it's about consistency and not giving up and being relentless and thinking outside of the box in terms of how to get the meetings. Now, once you get the meeting, we have a whole protocol for exactly what to say in that meeting. I'm not going to get into it here. If you are interested in it, I'll put a link in the chat below, and you can book a meeting with my program director and he can explain how it works. So click that link, book the meeting directly, and he will explain exactly and give you the scripting for what to say during the meeting so that you can get the trust, get the trial bid, and basically get started with that partner. I've even got to the point where I've had strategic partners show me the other quotes that they have on projects saying, hey, can you beat this? And if you get to that level with the relationship, then obviously it's great. Now, if you're getting skunked or you're seeing slowdown in momentum on your phone call outreach, and I'm saying phone call outreach, I'm not saying email blasts, I'm not saying text blasts, I'm saying phone calls. You must be doing phone calls as your initial outreach. Emails will not go through. So you do your phone calls, and if you start seeing a slowing in momentum there, now we're going to pivot a little bit and we're going to start visiting sites in person. So because we have a list now, because we've done research, we know where to go, we're going to go to the top, 5 property management firms every week. And we're just going to go knock. We're going to go visit. Hey, is Diane here? Hey, is Richard here? The names that you already have. And you're going to try to get an in-person meeting right then and there. You should really be bringing by like some cookies or some donuts and a stack of flyers to really correlate value with yourself to the property manager as well as to the office staff. So you're bringing by donuts, you're bringing by cookies, you're bringing by a stack of flyers. You're trying to get past the gatekeeper to speak to these people who you already have an open line of communication with. You just have to tell like the secretary, for example, hey, I've been talking to Diane on the phone for the last couple of weeks. Just pop by, wonder if I could say hi. Right? That's so much easier than you go to the secretary and say, hi, I'm Mike with Blueprint Painting, and I was wondering if I can paint any projects for you. Do you need more painters? Can you send me a bid? I'll give you best price. Like, that's not the format that you want. You want going with authority. Hi, I've been speaking to Diane for a couple of weeks. I wonder if she's in. All right, she's not in. Cool. Is there any of her colleagues that maybe I can speak to? I just want to chat with the property manager real quick. Cool. All right. You're sending Rich out? Great. Send Rich out. And I'll just hang out for a minute. So this is how you get in. But the most important thing, the number one thing that you guys need to do to make this 10x your business this year is to do it consistently. And I'm not even kidding. When I say 2 to 4 hours every week, if you can be diligent and actually do it, you will get the result. But if you schedule the time and you're like, oh, I'm going to be a good boy because I listen to this podcast and I'm fired up and I'm going to do it. And then the time comes in your schedule for you to actually go and do it, but you don't do it because it's uncomfortable. So you go back to the job site or you do nothing or whatever, right? You will never get the result. And only 1% of you will do it. So 1% of you will get the result. And you know what that means? 99% of painters are not calling property managers on a regular basis. That means there's huge opportunity for you. No, it's not going to be easy and it's going to take some time. But I promise you, if you do this, you will scale your business quickly. You'll get more bids than you know what to do with. That's all for now. Hope that was helpful, guys. Have an awesome rest of your day.
Thanks for listening to the Painter Growth Podcast. If you want to grow your painting business, go to www.paintergrowth.com or click on the top link in the description. Talk soon.